Hey everybody, Brian Horvath here with BrianHorvath.com, and I'm excited today to help you know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances. Today we're going to have an exciting conversation, something I've been doing or am doing differently than I normally do. Normally each week I do a live Q&A about LinkedIn, take a feature or a function or a bell or a whistle and break it down for you and help you use it to apply it in your career and in your personal life as it makes sense as well. Today we're going to do very similar things, but we're going to do it with a different kind of gift wrapping. And I'm going to share with you how you can be a go-giver with LinkedIn. And so before I get off topic here, let me just go ahead and get you started down the path here of our conversation we're going to have today, right? So again, Brian Horvath, happy to be here with you guys and happy to grow and go with you in this thing called life, helping you to know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances. So let's go ahead and jump over to our presentation for today. And really, I, again, am excited about how to help you become a go-giver with LinkedIn. And this is a free 5-week live event series. You know, I do a weekly LinkedIn Live Q&A. That hasn't changed. You can still submit your questions. I'll let you know how to do that here in a minute about LinkedIn, anything LinkedIn, not just about today's topic. But this is based on a book by Bob Berg and John David Mann, and it's called The Go-Giver. And I don't know if you've ever read it, but I also have a book called The Go-Getter. This is similar as because it's a parable, but it's all about giving and being generous and how it really will impact not only your life, but the life or lives of those around you. So we're going to get into that today, and we're going to share with you how to use LinkedIn to be a go-giver and how to be a go-giver with LinkedIn and all that good stuff. So let's get jumping through it here. This special 5-week series is sponsored by my free guide, your LinkedIn Profile Quick Start Guide. Some of the things that I'm going to share with you, if not all the things I'm going to share with you in these next 5 weeks or so, based on the book called The Go-Giver, you're going to be able to fine-tune or use or tweak your profile, and you're going to be able to use the Quick Start Guide if you don't have it already, this free guide to help you do and actually implement a lot of what I'm going to share with you over these next so many weeks. And it is a 7-step guide to help you make the right connections on the world's largest professional network. You can get this guide for free at brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn-quick-start. You should see that right there on your screen there. In addition to that, again, every single week, I want to help you be live on LinkedIn, or I'm going to be live on LinkedIn. I want to help you use LinkedIn live. I'm going to do a Q&A every single week. Well, every single week, the Q&As are driven by questions that folks like you and like me have about not only our profile, but about our career. And you can drop your question right there at the email address, the web address you see, and that's that's bit.ly/LinkedIn Ask Brian. You see, I need it on the screen for me as much as me telling you about what the URL. We have so many URLs in our head, right? So you can get your question answered by me, and you can get it answered by going to bit.ly/LinkedIn Ask Brian, and that's what you'll see there. You'll see a little Google form that will come up in your computer, so it's no spam or whatever. It's just a little Google Doc or Google form. You can drop in your question, and I'll respond back to you. So I appreciate you all doing that and those who have done it over the past so many weeks. In addition to that, I am live every single Wednesday on Facebook, on Twitter, today on LinkedIn, actually. I thought I'd go live on LinkedIn today, specifically within the platform, to present this new opportunity and look at LinkedIn in a different way, with the Go-Giver being our resource. And LinkedIn Live Q&A, I'm here every Wednesday at noon or 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. And so there's the URLs right down there below that you can get access to these lives. And then I take the live and I break it down, add a couple things, shorten it up just a bit, and you can grab that on my YouTube channel. And you can get notified about when these lives are redone and by subscribing to my YouTube channel. So if you wouldn't mind, I appreciate your help. Now that you know me and like me, right, and trust me, that the content I'm going to provide you will help you quickly to know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances. And you can do that by going to brianhorvath.com/YouTube, and you'll be taken to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe there. And just want to share with you a cool little note I received today from one of my clients, my LinkedIn coaching clients. And he said, Brian, I cannot thank you enough for your help these past 6 months. I wouldn't be here in this new job. He just started a new job on Monday without your knowledge and help. I came to find out that many people from my previous work applied to work for the same company, the company he's now employed by, and they only selected 3 people. Wow. You helped me to show my strengths and my passions and in my profile on LinkedIn, and I truly appreciate it. So cool, the opportunity we all have to use LinkedIn to make an impact. It just happens to be how I help people in their purpose, is by doing things like this, putting together trainings like what we're going to talk about today, having coaching opportunities with my friend Kevin there, and I want to help you do the same. So without any further ado, let's jump into today's training, my friends, today's training. So let's get you going. How to be a go-giver with LinkedIn. How to be a go-giver with LinkedIn. It's a free 5-week live event series with myself and you, and we're going to get you really impacted today with the law number 1, value. Law number 1, the law of value. Okay, so remember, Q&A. If you are on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Twitter, wherever you are, please submit your questions. This is a LinkedIn Live Q&A, so for those that may have questions, I like to jump in to get those questions answered. And the only way they're going to get answered is if you ask them. So get them asked. No question is a bad question. The only bad question you may have heard before is a question that doesn't get asked at all, right? So let me know your comments, let me know your feedback, get your question asked, and let's get it answered. Guaranteed somebody else has the same question, and you be serving them, you be giving them the opportunity to have their question answered as well. So take a risk on yourself and your ego, get that question asked. I'm not going to embarrass you, I'm not even going to share your name, but I want to get that question asked and get it answered for you. So a little backstory about how you, or how I got to this point about sharing this Go-Giver book. A little backstory here. I am in a men's mastermind and Bible study every single Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. We had ours this morning, and we kick around books, we kick around ideas. We'll look at the Bible, we'll look at, we'll pray for one another, encourage one another, challenge one another. Many times I'm challenged. I like to be the challenger, or don't so much like it when I'm challenged as much as being the challenger, but it's part of the territory. So I have an Eagles group. We want to fly high, support one another, and get above and beyond the fray. And it's very important, very cool that, we have an opportunity to discuss things like this together. And we decided to read this book called The Go-Giver. And The Go-Giver is really cool because it's a parable and it's short. And if you're like, me, and most of us guys are like this, we like short books. A lot of folks aren't even readers. Most people aren't readers, but I believe readers are leaders, and readers become leaders, and leaders read. Leaders are readers. So, thanks, Michaeline, for your question. How do you use your past experience within a new field? I'll get to that here in a little bit. And that's a great, actually, question for today and what we'll talk about. But this book called The Go-Giver is a little story about a powerful business idea. And it's a parable. So it's a make-believe story, kind of like Aesop's Fables, right? Or Aesop. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But it's a great story that helps us really understand and grasp some concepts. And the concepts I'm going to share with us, or share with you and talk about with you, are concepts that will really help you in your career, will help you in your career development, help you in your personal development, help you with LinkedIn, using that LinkedIn as a tool. And so I want to talk to you today about how you can use LinkedIn as a go-giver. So without any further on that, let's get you the book. The book is very inexpensive. There's a paperback version. You can get it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever you buy books. This is not a what I like to call a sales pitch. This is simply just saying, I have a resource. The resource helped me. I'd like to encourage you to get the resource yourself. There's no commissions in it. I'm not paid for this. This is sole purpose of sharing with you feedback or sharing with you insights that I've gotten and my group has gotten from this book called The Go Giver. And I've read it probably twice now, at least once in 3/4. And I'm just really getting a lot out of it, even in the second read. And now I get the chance to discuss it with my group and with you. So get the book, The Go Giver. It's not even that thick as what you see on the screen. But you may be asking yourself the question, how does this work with LinkedIn? What's the point here, Brian? Well, you can see there with that picture. What does that look like to you? Obviously, it's someone's head or a head, and where there would be a brain and other things, there's a lock, and it's unlocked, right? I want to help you unlock the potential that you have not only within yourself, not only within LinkedIn, but within your career, within your purpose. I want to help you unlock that. I want to help you put a new twist, a new spin, take your work a new direction with this book as being a great guide for us, as a great source of encouragement and inspiration and challenge. So you might be thinking, what does the Go Giver book have to do with LinkedIn? Well, if LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network, and it is, 800 million plus people on it from 20 or 200 plus countries, then it's a great place to build a network and connect with people, sometimes like-minded, sometimes like-valued, many times, oftentimes not. But LinkedIn is a great place to find new clients. It's a great place to find new customers. It's a great place to find new strategic partners or volunteers. It's a great place for you to be a new client, customer, or volunteer of an organization or business or whatnot. It's a great place to help each other and serve one another. It's a tremendous place to encourage one another and challenge one another. It's a great place to get learning that you didn't have before. And of course, if you're an employer, you're looking for a new hire, that's an awesome place to do it, right? If you're an unemployed person, or maybe a misemployed or underemployed person, you're looking to find new work, a new employer, it's a great place to do that as well, right? So there are so many reasons why LinkedIn is a great place to spend your time throughout each workday, at least a little bit of time carved out, definitely each work week, to make the right connections on LinkedIn, to build your network, to build your career, and to grow and go in that career. And I like to say, to know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances, and seeing your career, seeing your finances as a tool or as tools to accomplish your life purpose. That's the whole impetus of why I'm here. It's why I do this. So LinkedIn is a great place to do all these things, and LinkedIn is a tremendous place to be a giver, to not be a taker, but to be generous, to serve others, to seek to serve others. And so that's what I want to help you do today, is to flip the script in your mind. You might be thinking, what can I get out of LinkedIn? What can I get? What can I get? What can I get? I want to help you give. So you already made it be a go-giver. Or go-getter. Let's help you be a go-giver. Okay? So how do we do that? Well, in the book, this is a little spoiler alert. I'm going to give you some of the core takeaways, the key laws, the key points in the book. I'm not going to give you the story, but I'm going to give you the key points. So the first one is this thing called the law of value. This is law number 1. And so how to be a go-giver on LinkedIn is to know, understand, and then practically apply and walk out this law of value. Law of value. What does it say? Your true worth, my true worth, our true worth, anyone's true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you take in payment or what you receive in payment. And that's from the Go Giver. Again, you see it there. So how much you give in value, how much more you give in value than what you receive in payment. So it's not a win-win. It's more like a win-win-win, or a win exponentially, right? So what I'm trying to share with you is, too many folks go out on LinkedIn and going, I'm going to post my resume. I'm going to post my content on my profile. I'm going to tell folks how great I am. I'm going to make all these sales pitches and sales messages, and I'm just going to expect people to take advantage of it. Why? Because I'm so great. Look at me. I'm a champion, right? Well, That might get you so far, but to get you to the place where you really want to be for ultimate success is to be a go-giver, to see and look for opportunities to serve and go deeper and wider than you ever have on the profile or on the platform before. And I'm going to share with you some practical steps to do that here in a minute, so stay tuned to that. But the law of value, again, is your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you take in payment. Take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of that. I'll give you a moment to do that. Okay, how much more you give in value. This is your true worth now. How much more you give in value than what you take in payment. Okay, so you may have heard that your net worth, right? Your net worth, you have more assets, more money than expenses or debts or liabilities. Your net worth is determined by your net work. If you've heard that, let me know that. Put that in the chat or put that in the comments. Let me know that you've heard that. Maybe you're hearing this for the first time. That's okay too. Maybe you're hearing this for the first time, but your net worth is determined by your net work. Have you heard that? Okay. So what do you want to do? You want to grow your network, right? If you're going to increase your net worth, if you're going to increase your value to yourself, to the community, to an organization, to your clients, then you want to grow your network. You want to be able to be someone that's connecting people, that's introducing people, that's making things happen. That if there's something to sell, you know where to go sell it. If there's something to buy, you know where to go buy it. If you have someone that can, having a referral network, it's kind of like that old Rolodex idea, or having the black book of high quality, highly valuable names and information that you can share with others, right? People come to you because you know how to solve problems. Okay. All right. Net worth equals network. I like that. Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate that, man. Oh my God. Throw you up there. There's my buddy Daniel over in Switzerland, and live broadcasting rocks. You got to check out Daniel. Talk about network and net worth. He's a great guy of value. If you want to learn how to broadcast live, he's the guy. I've learned a lot from him. So glad to have you here, my friend. And glad to have you here too, Michaeline, whoever else is out there today. Thank you for your input and your questions. We'll get to those in a moment. But your net worth is determined by your network, and to grow your network is important. Well, LinkedIn's a tremendous place to do that. Like I said, 800 million people on the platform, 200 plus territories. When I started coaching on LinkedIn in 2013, 9 so years ago, almost 10 years ago, there were only 135 million people on the platform. Today, 800 plus million. So it's not going anywhere. And there's so many things they're doing and adding and changing to it each time. Go ahead and check out my LinkedIn Lives of the past. Go to my YouTube channel where I have over 50 videos, over 60 some videos, maybe even more of LinkedIn stuff that you can watch and learn how to use LinkedIn. And then you really be making a difference, making an impact. So you may have heard your net worth is determined by your network. So how do we help you grow your network? Okay. But to grow your network, the way to do that, to grow your network, is you must first do what we've been talking about. That's applying the law of value. Not logging into LinkedIn and expecting all these connection requests, or expecting all these people to endorse you or recommend you or refer you. Not expecting all these people to say how great you are. But you have to be active on the platform. This is back to that adjustment of our mindset and of our attitude and of our heart, why we're doing what we do. Law number one, law of value is, are you a person that's adding value? You've heard that before, okay? Are you a person that's serving others? Are you a person that's looking to give rather than take? Are you somebody that's going to solve problems or add to problems? Think about that even within your work, within your family. Okay, and we all have room to grow. I definitely have room to go in that area. But that's why I teach this stuff. Because to teach it, I have to go learn it. To keep it in my head, I have to go apply it. And so it really challenges me as well. So I want to encourage you. The law of value, your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you take in payment. So when you go to LinkedIn, you need to keep that in mind. So how do we do this? How do we take LinkedIn and make it an asset for us? How do we make it an asset, not a liability? What do I mean by that? By taking it and using it in a way that's going to bring value, that you're going to be able to have a chance to add value, that you're not going to let it be a time suck or a time drain. This is not Facebook, and I'm not knocking Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. LinkedIn is meant for professional connecting, selling, partnering, buying, adding value. not just social stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the cool thing is, I like to say to my volunteers back in the day when I led at a non-denominational church, I would say, hey, let's have fun while we get it done. Let's build relationships while we're working for God. Okay, so I want to encourage you, no matter what your faith is, wherever you're at, let's think about having fun while getting it done. Because as you connect with new people, as people come in and connect with you, LinkedIn starts becoming a lot more fun and doesn't seem like drudgery, doesn't seem like work. But how do we do that, Brian? How do we get to that place? Well, first, you got to commit to have the right attitude. Commit now to have the go-giver attitude. Maybe take off your glasses and put on some new ones. Take off the blinders so you can see LinkedIn in a new way, see your career in a new way. It's not about Monday through Friday, give me the paycheck. It's about going in, adding value, seeking to serve, and that starts with the right attitude, the right heart. It's not easy. And some days will be bad days, right? With that song, Mama said there'd be days like this, there'd be days like this. Mama said, yeah, days that stink. However, our character gets developed, we persevere, and we move on. You got to have the right attitude. Doesn't mean you're always center. Doesn't mean you're always straightforward, like marching to the same beat you should be every day. There's going to be veering to the left, veering to the right. But we know we can come back to center, attitude, being a giver, understanding that you have net worth that comes from your value that you're adding more than what you're receiving. Okay? So commit right now your attitude. Number 2, yeah, you got to review your profile. You got to look at your content. You got to look at your copy. Is copy meaning the content, your about section, your headline, your work experience. You know, do you have all that stuff? You should. And if you don't, you need to. And if you do, and it's saying, look at me, or it's written even in the third person. I see some folks have their profile written in the third person, like it's some, it's not personal then. There's a word I'm looking for. I don't know if it's the right meaning. You know, you don't want to be like kind of aloof. You want to be personal. Don't write it in third person. Brian Horvath is an established speaker, consultant, and coach. No, I am this. I do this. I love to connect. You know, just being you. And I was reading something today, listening to an audiobook today, just talked about when you speak how you might write. Okay? Well, when you write, think about how you might speak. So there's kind of a duality there, a combination. Be casual, be professional, but be casual. Be you, be a real person. We're going to talk about some of those things in later laws over these next so many weeks. But so number 1 is commit right now your attitude, that you're willing to change, that you want to lean into changing. You want to use LinkedIn in a way that you maybe never used it before. Okay? So keep that in mind. Number 2 is review your profile, content, and copy. Is it saying what you want it to say? Have you looked at it in a while? Have you changed it in a while? Do you understand how LinkedIn works to get you the most bang for your buck, the most benefit for what you're putting in? So consider those kinds of things, okay? All right, number 3, write a recommendation. Use LinkedIn and go find somebody that you've worked with or that's done work for you or that you led or that you fell under their leadership in your work, and go write them a recommendation. Let them know how thankful you are for them. Let people see in public how much of a value they are to an organization. Talk about lifting somebody up. Is going on a LinkedIn and surprising them with a recommendation when they never even asked you? Wow, talk about being a go-giver. Talk about adding value. Talk about building your network. You're making deposits in somebody else's life. You're helping someone else go along in their career. Wow. Well, Brian, I'm not a writer. Just be you. John was a great person to work with. The reason why is because he always did what he said he was going to do. He was kind, considerate, and actually went the extra mile staying with me after work one day to help me with the project I was working on. Just you don't have to be so articulate and so magical and gifted in your writing. Just, this is who this person is. This is how I know them. This is what happened. This is how it made me feel. This was the result. Just keep that kind of framework in mind. But that's huge, adding value that way by writing a recommendation for someone who is never expecting it. Number 4 is introduce 2 people in your network. Go find a couple people within your LinkedIn network that you know and connected with already, and think about synergies they may have, or think about work that they may do that may complement one another. Introduce them to a prospect or a lead or vice versa. And how do you do that? You just go up to messages, okay? And you let folks know, you just at the top of the message, almost like you're crafting a new message, you would add a couple people in there. And you would say, hey, Will, meet Joe. Joe, meet Will. I thought I'd introduce you two guys here on LinkedIn because there may be an opportunity for you to work together on such and such project or on such and such business or community or whatever the case may be. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. But so glad that we're all connected here. Whatever the case may be, something like that. And then let them go connect on their own. And if they do, great. If they don't, okay. But it's adding value, bringing people together in your network. Awesome stuff. Number 5, share your results. Share your results with others. Spur this on. Cheer on good works in other people. Help them get this law of value, okay? This law of value in their mind, in their heart, in their spirit, in their work ethic. And really, that is giving a gift that like no one could ever have. To learn something new, to go apply it and see their network grow and flourish as a result. Okay? So law number 1, again, the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than what you take in payment. For example, for me, I'm giving value, I believe, hopefully, right? I'm giving value in these trainings. I put these together. I'm not charging for them. And there's no payment asked, right? Hopefully you have this to add to your career. Hopefully this adds to your personal development, and you share it with somebody else. You're obviously investing your time, which we can't get back. I truly appreciate it, and I'm thankful for it. But take this law of value and use it today. I want to ask you to consider being accountable. Not necessarily accountable to me, but just accountable. And let me know that you went and applied this law today. In the book, it talks about applying these laws every single day. And I would even say, before I read the next chapter, applying this law in my life and seeing how it really makes a difference. Not only in the people I'm serving, but also in me, because it feels good to be a giver, right? It feels good to be a giver. I believe that's how God made us. So be accountable. How can you be accountable? Let me know how more you gave in value today, or how much more you gave in value today is what that slide should say. How much more you gave in value today. Let me know about it. And let me know by emailing me at brian@brianhorvath.com. I'd love to hear your feedback there. And thank you so much, Daniel, for encouraging me as well. You said, thanks, Brian. You rock. I appreciate you, brother. But so just want to encourage you to get my quick start guide. If you haven't gotten it already, brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn-quick-start. And let's get to a question. Michaeline has a question. How do you use your past experience within a new field? Well, I think that's a great question. How do you use your past experience in a new field? I think one of the biggest things we all have to consider is that we have value to add, right? We have experiences that only you have, right? Experiences that only you've experienced through your eyes. No one else has had that same experience because they're not you. So how do you take those lessons you learn in success to your next company or to the next organization, and how do you take the lessons you learned in failure to your next organization? And I like to call failure not so much a failure like lay down and die, but learnings. So it's not so much that you failed, but that you learned. And I think John Maxwell has a book, Leadership Guru. I forget, but it basically talks about that premise. And he has another book called Failing Forward. And this one, another book, it's called sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And so learning is always a better teacher than success. So that's one thing, is that being transparent, being open, taking all those lessons you've learned, whether it's with people or certain kind of work ethic or certain kind of work that you did that you may not have done well at, and being open to change that behavior to get that different outcome in your new role. So that to me is how you use your experience in your past role. But remember, business only exists because of people, and people need business. So one of the ways to take any of your past experiences with you is to remember how you did well with or by people, and maybe how you didn't do well with or by people, and change that attitude, change those behaviors, and you will get different results. So hopefully that helps. Michaeline, if you have a follow-up question to that, please go ahead and ask it. How do you use your past, I read it one more time. How do you use your past experience within a new field? Again, I think it's always about taking with you the past. They're not separate. They roll up into another one. So your career is not just one job or two jobs. It's an assemblance or assembly of all your jobs and all your roles within your career, and hopefully you're building on those as you move forward. So be encouraged. We're always growing if we're willing to be learning. Okay, so I want to encourage you one more time to get the book, The Go-Giver. You can get it at Amazon online or Barnes & Noble or where you love to buy books. You can even probably get it at the library, or if you have a library card, there may be a chance for you to listen to the audiobook as well. And then next week, I want to remind you that we have at the same time How to Be a Go-Giver with LinkedIn, part 2 of our 5-part series. We're going to be talking about law number 2, the law of compensation, which is so important, right? It's not why we work, but it's definitely a healthy byproduct of why we work. When we serve well, we get paid more. And that's giving you a little insight into next week's tip. But again, get the free guide if you haven't got it already. Your LinkedIn Quick Start Guide, brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn-quick-start, brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn-quick-start. And then next Wednesday, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard, I'll see you there. If you have any questions, anything from different what we did today, ask them. Get your question asked. You got to ASK to GET. Go to bit.ly/LinkedIn, ask Brian, and that's what will pop up for you on that screen, and drop in your question there. So thankful for your time. Appreciate you guys being here. Thankful for you hanging out with me today on July 13th. 2022, excited for you as you start today to be a go-giver. So don't forget that accountability. Email me at brian@brianhorvath.com. Let me know how you're getting on today. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you.